Hello, hello, everyone. This is Pinky, the housewife, but also I'm carrying this on my other channels as well. So let me say those. Uh, Pink Global, that's my second channel, and then also let me just put Pink Global up, and then also I'm carrying this on my third channel, which is the original Pinky. So let's go ahead and get the house rules out of the way. Let me just first say everything is alleged. This is my opinion only. And this video is made for educational and entertainment purposes only. So let's go ahead and get the house rules out of the way. Welcome to the Pink House. And make sure when you're coming in, you go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. And when you hit it on all three of my channels if you can. And subscribe to the channel. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right. And for doing those two things, I'm going to say thank you. Now let's go ahead, get on with the matter at hand. But let me just put up this warning, just because some images or content may be disturbing to some. So I just want to make sure I put that up. Ooh, boys, my throat is scratchy again. Now, we're going to be talking about Sean Diddy Combs. Yes, the one and only Sean Diddy Combs. Okay? Shocking, all the shocking things that have been going on for 2025. And we're just only 8 days in this year, just day 8. 1 week and 1 day into the year. And he already got drama going on. Okay? But we're going to talk about it. Yes, we are. I haven't been updating you like I should, but I'm back on it. I'm back on my job, doing what I do. This is my job. Okay? The only job I got. So I'm back at it. So let's go ahead and get to the matter at hand. All right? Oh, let me and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and drop. We have a couple of videos that we're gonna watch. Okay, a couple of videos that we're gonna watch on some new information that's going on with Sean Diddy Combs. Okay, P Diddy. Now he's called the Diddler. You know, I guess he ain't taking being locked up. He's been locked up since September 16th. September the 16th of 2024, last year. So this man, he ain't spent, that's a long time to him. Not living in that big house, that big mansion. Well, those two big mansions. He ain't got that no more. He ain't got that big bathroom, that big laid out bathroom with all that baby oil in there. He ain't got that. He ain't got all his friends. Where's all your friends? I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to play the videos because I ain't gonna say nothing because this man's still reaching out. He's still reaching out, trying to make people be quiet. So I'm not gonna say nothing. I just play my video. I just play the videos, and these are not just anybody videos. These are people that know what they're talking about. Okay, these are the major news sources. They know what they're talking about. So you don't come after me, Diddy. Go after them. I'm just playing it. Okay. So the first one we're gonna go and look at, guys, is from the Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter, and it's Diddy's Inner Circle shares details on the music mogul in new documentary. He's a monster. That's what they said. I didn't call you a monster. They said he's a monster. I guess they're talking about you, Diddy. But we're going to go ahead and play it. That information, guys, will be down in my description box. So if you need to go back and look at it, you know where to go find it. It will be down below the video in my description box. So credit goes to the Hollywood Reporter. All right. So here we go, guys.
How did this superstar music mogul become an alleged monster?
Sean Diddy Combs' inner circle is telling all in Peacock's newest documentary, going inside the music mogul's sex trafficking scandal. Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy, tells the story of Sean Combs' early years and his decades-long transformation to Puffy and then to Diddy, with crucial insight into the forces that shaped the man and may have made him a monster. It sheds light on his childhood, rise to fame, and recent criminal allegations, challenging viewers to rethink everything they thought they knew about the mogul behind the music and the mugshot.
Anytime the studio or any rooms is red, it's making love and sex. Some of the ones who went in the room, for sure, they were underage.
The special features new interviews with Diddy insiders, including singer, songwriter, and producer Albie Shore, Diddy's label mate at Uptown Records, and who was in a relationship with Kim Porter before she began dating Diddy, who speaks out for the first time. The special also includes never-before-seen footage of Diddy partying at home and in the studio. Diddy is currently awaiting trial behind bars, being the subject of more than 25 lawsuits related to accusations of sexual misconduct. The 90-minute documentary, Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy, streams on Peacock on January 14th. For more on this story, head to thr.com. And for the latest entertainment news and updates, keep watching the...
Okay, guys. Now, remember, they did mention that for the making of Diddy or whatever, that video, I did have it. I don't know where I put it. I have to find it. I got it in one of my files so I can make sure I put it up so everybody can see it. It's coming up probably in a week or so, but I'm going to make sure I put it up. Okay. Oh, well, let me just find it right quick so you all can see it. That way. Let me just find it because I had it in my file. And now, which file? Okay, here it is. Let me just bring it back up so you can see. It's going to be on Peacock, Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy. So this is going to be the Making of a Bad Boy on Peacock. And it did say the date. So let me just go back a little so you can hear the date. I want you to hear the date because I got it somewhere. But we'll do it this way. Let me unmute it so you can hear it.
Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy, streams on Peacock on January 14th.
Okay.
For more on the story, to thr.com. And for the...
So that's January the 14th, guys. The Making of a Bad Boy. Okay. So you all can watch it there. All right. That was good. That was good. And I did watch TMZ had a thing about him, a documentary or something about him, and I watched theirs. And then 50 Cent got something going on too. So I'm not going to miss none of them. No, I'm not. Okay. So let's go ahead and get to the other one. Now, I do want to say I can't remember which one of these videos. I think it's this one. I do have docs on one of the videos on a man he's locked up behind bars. Let me just show you his name. Show you a picture of him because I had this and I showed this. I did something on this. I think when Diddy when they first arrested him, this story had came out. Cordello Smith, and I did a video on him. That's why I still have that picture and everything. And he's in jail, and you can see him in jail. And during that time, he had sued Diddy, the Diddler, P. Diddy, and he won because Diddy allegedly, he claims, done some foul stuff to him. And I got the docs. So let's watch this. It's on one of my videos I'm going to show. I think it's this one here. After we get through watching this, then I'll go over my docs of Mr. Cordello Smith. Okay. I mean, I had this sitting for, let me see how long I had this. What date is on here? May 31st, 2024 at the bottom of here. That's been a while. Oh, that's been a while. Yeah. Okay, May. So, and he won. So we're going to come back to this, but we're going to watch the video. And I think in this video that I'm going to play, they're actually talking about the same thing. They bring this up. I know it's in one of my videos that I'm going to show tonight. They're going to bring the same information up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, let me go ahead. And this would be from Law&Crime Network with Jesse. I just love watching him. Weber, Weber. He called it Weber. Yeah. I just call him Jesse. I love watching him. I watch this Law&Crime Network. I watch it every day. I watch something from it every day, and sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. This is from this new YouTube channel. Yes, I do. But this one here says Jennifer Lopez named in P. Diddy's lawsuit from hustler inmate. Hostile. I mean, look at it with my glasses on. Hostile inmate. Okay. Now, let me just say this. I did a piece on Jennifer Lopez been named. Let me see when I did that. When I say I did it. Let me just get to it and see, I'm going to try to, just give me 1 second, guys. I'm looking for it right now. It's a video on Jennifer Lopez. Let me see. That was 2 weeks ago. I did that 2 weeks ago. That was, I'm going to pull it up so you all can see it. Okay. I'm going to bring it up so you can see it. I did this 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. There it is right there. See, Pinkie the Housewife. Breaking news, Jennifer Lopez is named as a woman that watched a RAPE of a 13-year-old girl. Okay. I did this 2 weeks ago. And you see, I got allegedly right there. You see, 2 weeks ago. Okay. So, we're touching some of the same things I, had done before. Yes, we are. But they're saying Jennifer Lopez, not in that 13-year-old, in that case. I think they're saying it in the Smith case, in this person's, remember? I think they're talking about it in his case. I'm not sure, but I think this is, I can't be for sure, but I think it's in his case. And if it's not, then you get clarification right there. And then I can go back and say, no, it wasn't his case. It was somebody else, but I think it's his case. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the second video. All right. So and that information will be down in my description box. Like always, guys. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you.
Fighting a lot of battles on a lot of different fronts lately, and likely spent their holiday crafting motions to try to curtail the amount of legal action the disgraced music mogul is facing. But one of the strangest cases involves a Michigan prison inmate who claims that Combs raped him in the 90s. A judge had initially granted a massive $100 million judgment in his favor, But after that was overturned, Derek Cardello Smith is now pushing forward with his lawsuit, and he says he plans to call pop icon Jennifer Lopez as a witness. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. The legal battle involving Derek Cardello Smith is one of the strangest parts of the saga of Sean Diddy Combs right now. And as we know, the rapper is behind bars in Brooklyn, accused by the feds of forcing sex workers and others to participate in hours-long sex performances and orgies, sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation, to engage in prostitution, federal charges. And at the same time, Combs has also been accused in several civil lawsuits of drugging and raping people as far back as the 90s. The allegations come from both men and women, including some who say that they were just teens when they were targeted. And in the midst of a flurry of lawsuits, before he faced criminal charges in federal court, we learned about a man named Derek Cardello Smith. This is an inmate incarcerated at Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility out in...
Okay, I guess I was right, guys. It is with Cardello Smith. Okay, so I was right. So this information is with Cardello Smith. And this is the man that I did that video. I did a commentary on him. When did I say I did that? That was, I know on the paperwork it had May something of last year. I forgot when I did it. I did it right after Diddy was arrested, I think. I think I did it after he was arrested. I can't remember. I know I did it though. But we're going to go ahead and continue to watch.
Michigan. Now, he has been convicted multiple times for criminal sexual conduct and kidnapping. Cardello Smith appeared on a judge's live stream from prison representing himself to explain why he wanted an injunction against, out of all people, Sean Combs.
This is in the matter of Derek Lee Cardello Smith, MDOC number 267009 versus Sean Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, also known as Sean P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, Bad Boy Records, label owner, founder, also known as Puff P. Daddy, Bad Boy, Diddy Run the City, Sean Combs, also known as Sean.
Just Ashley, do you see how many names she is naming off? Sean P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, Sean Diddy, Puff Daddy Combs. I mean, she just naming off so many. I guess this woman said, gosh, can one person have that many names? Yeah, and I don't know if she's going to get to the name Love because, you know, he's Love now. He's Love. Love. I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay. Let me just say, hi, Nathan, for coming in. Hello, Ian Hepper, from coming in. Make sure y'all hit that like button coming in. Thank you so much. We're going to get back to the video.
Puffy Combs. And this is file number 24-7362NO. We'll grab your paperwork here real quick out of this other paper.
There's a driver from a small town in Texas who walked away.
Do have Mr. Cardello Smith appearing from the Michigan Department of Corrections. Sir, where are you currently located?
I'm located at the Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility, 2500 South Sheridan Drive, Muskegon, Michigan, 49444, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Or Your Honor.
Thank you. So I do see that we do have a proof of service on Mr. Combs, but for purposes of this hearing, you filed a motion for a temporary restraining order and or a preliminary injunction to stop all sales of the property and assets attached to or involved with said property based on the interest of plaintiff and plaintiff's connections to defendant's sexual assault of plaintiff Derek Lee Cardello Smith, requiring a preliminary injunction and or a temporary restraining order.
By the way, when we're covering stories like this one, it is very important to bring you just the facts, not put.
Hello, Tamara Morgan. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the Pink House. And make sure you hit the like button on your way in. We're talking about Sean P. Diddy Combs. All right. Thank you.
This tool, highlighting stories that mainstream media might be skipping. So you can check it out for yourself for free. Use the tools to research at san.com/sidebar or click the link in the description. Supporting them means supporting journalists like us who are committed to delivering the truth.
Do you wish to argue the motion today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed then.
Okay, the purpose of it is based on two actions taken by Mr. Combs himself, directly with me here. We did a live one-on-one visit in our prison visiting room. There's two meetings within the past 2 weeks with Mr. Combs on one meeting, and then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr. Combs' behalf. And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case and what happened to me because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life that require his money right now, and he wants to sell everything off. And he made me a financial offer of $2.3 million to allow what happened to me to go away. And he stated that he's going to be selling his property, and under the 2005 California Civil Code 2881-2885, the creation of liens, which allows out-of-state justices and orders to cause a stop of any title transfer, property transfers in Los Angeles or any other place that he has property. He stated that he wouldn't be able to proceed with that sale. And he did it the day after I served him the suit. And he also said that he won't be filing an answer to the complaint. He said, you can find me in default or whatever. He has a better chance with default than he would with having a restraining order stopped. And I said, so you want to hide your money and stop from being quite possibly paid to me if I'm given the benefit of a judgment in my favor for what you've done to me. And he pretty much said, yeah. He says, you know how we get down. And I said, okay, well, I
do want to say one thing. This man knows the law. He's been sitting in prison for a long time. He knows what he's doing. He is good. Because I did that video on him months ago. Yes. And so we're going to talk about the information that I got, because I still have those docs.
I disagree with how you get down. Your cell shouldn't go through.
So I'm gonna hold on.
I'm sorry.
Cadello Smith. Okay, so you went in a different direction than I thought you were going into. I thought we were just going to focus. No.
We are.
You kind of went off on a different direction than what your actual motion was.
Yeah.
So what I just want to say is settlement negotiations.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
In this case, are probably better not. Yeah, they're not to be placed on the record today. Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. You're not an attorney. I understand that. So if we can just backtrack and focus just on your motion.
I get what you want.
Okay, thank you.
If he's allowed to sell his property that he has in LA and the properties that are in his name being used and held by other people in Michigan, then it will cause me harm because I can be tied directly to those properties through loans and through other areas of investment that I did when I was out there and while in prison through money that I've sent. And if he's allowed to go through with any of the sales, I won't be able to recoup any of my monies or anything from him as a result of any possible judgment in this action, if he's allowed to proceed with it. And an injunction or restraining order would help ensure that he's not manipulating and selling the property to avoid his responsibility in these matters here. That's what a temporary restraining order would do. It would prevent that from happening. Because it's a very serious matter. It involves a lot of money. And him selling this would help him avoid his liability for these actions done upon me. And I was just hoping that I'd be able to get the restraining order to prevent that. There won't be any harm to him, any of the parties. There won't be any harm to him in any way. And if it's deemed that it's not justified, then he can go ahead and go through with the sale at the end of the case. But one has to be put in place to stop this from happening.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much.
Yes.
So I received your complaint and all the attachments to it. And then I received this motion. And I just wanted to take a moment to review back through the U.S. District Civil Docket and your complaint. So I did do that. That's all. And
Yes.
okay. Anything else?
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as this seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it, every facet.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a proof of service showing that Mr. Combs was served on July 6th of 2000 and let me see, is that 24?
Yes, Your Honor.
Looks like it. 2024.
So that was August of 2024, and a month earlier in July, Combs had put his house in the Holmby Hills part of Los Angeles up for sale, and the judge agreed to issue an injunction preventing Combs from selling the property for 90 days while the rest of the case played out. And in the complaint against Combs, Cardella Smith asked for $100 million, claiming Combs drugged and raped him during a party in Detroit in 1997. He also alleges that Combs filmed the assault. And we have also learned through separate filings that Cardella Smith claims that Combs allowed him to invest in Bad Boy Records if he took the blame for a rape case and went to prison. And get this, since Combs seemingly didn't respond to the summons, the judge issued a default judgment against him. That means $100 million was awarded to Cardella Smith. Unfortunately for him, it would not be for too long because Combs' attorneys quickly responded.
Can y'all believe that? $100 million. That's what I reported when I did that commentary, that video. I did a live on it. Was it a live or video? Just a pre-recorded video. I can't remember, but I did a video on it. Okay. He won the judgment, $100 million. Yes, he did. Okay. We're going to get back to it.
With emergency motions saying they had no idea that this lawsuit was even going on or who Cardella Smith was. So the default judgment was set aside and the case carries on. Now, Mark Agnifilo, who is Combs' lawyer in his federal criminal case, said this is a frivolous lawsuit against a prominent businessman based on obvious fabrications filed by a convicted rapist and serial litigant with an overactive imagination and a thirst for fame. Well, since then, Cardella Smith has been hard at work from inside prison.
Hey guys, did you know some drivers are...
Let me ask you this. How can he have a thirst for fame? The man is locked up. What, he gonna try to be famous in jail, in prison? Well, anyway, they just mad the man won. That's all. But no worries, he's still locked up. He said his $100 million is going to be waiting on him when he get out. Okay, here we go.
Document after document with the court. I am talking, by the way, hundreds and hundreds of pages of arguments, case law, exhibits. In fact, he is filing so many documents in so many different courts that he seems to be having trouble keeping things like dates and locations straight. And look, in those filings, he's doing his best to, stick to the legalese and facts of the case. But remember, he is representing himself. He's not an attorney. But he ends up using a lot of underlining, all caps, exclamation points. I said it before, I'll say it again. The fact that he was initially awarded the $100 million, you got to give him credit, right? But look, he is not shy about what he has to say. For example, how about this quote from his proposed 250-page answer to the defendant's motion to dismiss? Defendant Sean Combs is a fake gangster hiding behind his money and his lawyers, and most importantly, his enforcers, who knows that he has committed multiple acts of fraud, and it has been an ongoing thing. His fraud is eternal, and his entire empire was built on rape, torture, being a fake gangster, rapist, brutal, power-hungry, greedy millionaire, and quite simply, he is not a man. Wow. And remember, Combs...
That was a lot. Oh, Lord. What did he say? Let me go over there. Defendant Sean Combs is a fake gangster. Ooh, fake. He's been a fake gangster, hiding behind his empire that was built on RAPE, torture, being a fake gangster, RAPIST, brutal power, hungry, greedy, millionaire, and quite simply, he is not a man. Ooh, that's you know what I call that? I'm going to show you. Oh my God, that's too much. All in one day? That's a slap. That's a slap in the face. That's all in one. That's all in one little section. Oh my God, that's a lot. I give him credit for putting it on paper.
The fraud, and it has been an ongoing thing. His fraud is eternal, and his entire empire was built on rape, torture, being a fake gangster, rapist, brutal, power-hungry, greedy millionaire, and quite simply, he is not a man. Wow. And remember, Combs says he doesn't even know who Cardella Smith is. And we have to be clear about something. Sean Combs has never been criminally charged for rape or sexual assault per se. And as far as the federal charges, he hasn't been found guilty. And for all the lawsuits, he hasn't been found liable in any of them as well. Now, he has entered a not guilty plea in federal court. He strongly denies any of these allegations. But who is this Derek Cardella Smith character, right? And how, by the way, does Jennifer Lopez fit into all of this? Well, according to the Michigan Department of Corrections, Cardella Smith is serving a decades-long prison sentence at a correctional facility near Muskegon. In 1998, Cardella Smith was convicted of 2 counts of third-degree sexual conduct. He was paroled, and while out, prosecutors say he committed more sexual offenses. He was convicted in 2008 on 6 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct and 2 counts of kidnapping, pled no contest in that case. And then in 2019, he was convicted of 4 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. And according to the Department of Corrections, the earliest release date for him is 2036. So Cardella Smith, by the way, has appealed all of those convictions.
2036. Ooh, is that $100 million? Ooh, Lord. I don't know. I think I better just go back to
over the years, and says that he was falsely accused of rape in 1998, that he was set up by police. And by the way, in his filing against Combs, Cardella Smith also claims that there is collusion, that there is a conspiracy afoot, saying and alleging that Detroit police covered up his rape at Combs' instruction. And that is not even the wildest claim in this lawsuit. So let's dig into it. On December 9th, Cardella Smith filed a notice of submission of material witnesses and named 3 people: New York police officer Derek Palmer, former Combs employee Kirk Burroughs, and pop superstar Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, who dated Combs from 1999 to 2001. And possibly one of the most memorable headline-making moments of the relationship came in December of 1999 when Combs, Lopez, Combs' bodyguard Anthony Wolf Jones, and rapper Jamal Shine Barrow were involved in an argument in a New York City nightclub that led to gunshots. All 4 were arrested on charges after they left the club in a car. Police pulled them over after they ran a red light. A gun was found lying in the car in full view, according to police reports. And the weapon, turns out, had been reported stolen out in Georgia, and none of the people in the car had a license for the gun. Now, the charges against Lopez, they were dropped. And after a trial in New York, Combs and his bodyguard were acquitted. Shine, though, was found guilty of criminal possession of a weapon and first-degree assault. He was acquitted on the charge of attempted murder, and he served nearly 9 years for his charges. He since said that Combs was the one who actually fired the shots, and he took the fall for him. But going back to Cardella Smith's filing, his notice says that Jennifer Lynn Lopez, a.k.a. J-Lo, a.k.a. Jenny from the Block, quote, will be called as a material witness and expert to Sean Combs' viewing, possession, and distribution of his sexual assault upon the plaintiff in 1997 and the orders of defendant Sean Combs forcing Jennifer Lopez to remain silent about the videotaped sexual assault of plaintiff by defendant. Plaintiff states that the material witness Jennifer Lynn Lopez, also known as J-Lo and Jenny from the Block, was engaged in a relationship with the defendant Sean Combs during 1999 and 2001, and that the sexual assault of the plaintiff was recorded, distributed, and held by the defendant at his New York residence and recording studio. And during the relationship with Jennifer Lopez, she was made privy to this video that was taken by Sean Combs and his employee Kirk Burrows. She, J-Lo, has known this video existed and was in existence and took no action to make it known to anyone in law enforcement, and that she was even questioned by New York Police Detective Derek Palmer about this matter, and that the report will show that her answers to this tape was and still remains a resounding yes to its existence. And again, Cardell Smith writes that he wants to call Officer Derek Palmer as a witness because he says Palmer is the one who questioned Lopez and believes that he will have testimony that could help his case. Now, as I mentioned, Diddy's legal team has called for this entire case to be thrown out. Cardell Smith has filed a massive response to that request that totaled more than 200 pages. Probably half of it was just straight up copies of case law that seems to support his arguments word for word. It's something out of like a legal textbook. There's so much to slog through, but I kind of want to give you some of the highlights. So first, in addition to the claims of rape and a cover-up, Cardell Smith also claims and alleges that Combs was violent towards his loved ones. At times, Cardell Smith addresses alleged threats against his family. Other times, he says Combs actually caused serious injuries to his brother. His response reads, defendant used threats of murder to force the plaintiff to not bring the case to any court of law enforcement until the
worst breakfast for your waistline.
Oh.
Hello, Justice. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Justice. And I'm doing okay. I just got a little choked on something I was eating. But I'm doing good. We're talking about Sean P. Diddy Combs, the latest in this case that Sidebar is doing. I did a video on this. I think when he first got arrested, or was when his home was raided. One of them, I can't remember. But I did show the video where I did the video on Jennifer when she was named in another suit, allegedly. But thank you for being here, Justice. And also, we got that bad weather on its way. Ooh, Lord, it's supposed to be bad here. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm saying I'm going to be in just on social media and just watching it from there. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. Yeah. Let me see. Hi, Queen. Thank you for being here. Queen Common Sense. Thank you for being here. The highest blessing. Love to you, Queen. And Queen is a content creator, guys. Y'all make sure you go over and show my Queen some love. See, Queen, I just tried to sing for you. Love. I told my husband my voice is trying to go out anyway. I told him that about an hour ago. My voice has been trying to go out too. But anyway, I'm so glad to see y'all here. We're talking about the diddler. The diddler, okay? Yes, we are. Thank you. I'm under the covers, laying low. Oh my God, I need to be under the covers. Well, I'm wrapped up in a robe and everything. Got a bonnet on my head because I'm just cold. I'm just cold here, guys, but I'm being okay. I'm going to go ahead and play this so we can get the diddler updated. Get everybody updated with the diddler. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much.
Of the defendant were raided by Homeland Security, that the plaintiff knew it was a safe time to bring the case, and that is why we are here at this juncture. And Cardell Smith argued that fear for his own safety and the safety of his family is one of the main reasons that he waited so long to report the alleged rape, and says that that reason alone should override any issue with the statute of limitations, that these claims might otherwise be time barred. And he also argues that while he's been in prison, fellow inmates and prison guards have threatened him on behalf of Sean Combs. Quote, Plaintiff states that the court cannot authorize a dismissal of these claims because to do so would mean that the plaintiff was time barred because the plaintiff did not want to take any action that could have resulted in the death or danger of his family, friends, or their family by filing this report until after Homeland Security got involved. And if this court does not grant dismissal of this claim, then it would be instructing the defendants of a sexual assault claim brought by a plaintiff to threaten to kill the victim's family members, and then they would be able to get away with it. And that is most certainly this court authorizing murder. Wow. And when it came to threats, by the way, Cardella Smith swears that Combs visited him in prison on August 28th, 2024. That is just days before his arrest on September 16th. In fact, he claims that Combs visited him multiple times in prison and that the visitor logs and the security video will prove it. But he also claims that that evidence is being buried. So according to Cardella Smith, Combs threatened him on that day in August, saying, quote, "What up, N-word? So I see you have been getting my messages and your family has too. That is good. And they can keep it that way by staying quiet. I am untouchable, N-word." And Cardella Smith even went so far as to accuse some of Combs' attorneys of helping him cover up these crimes. He says he believes attorneys from the law office of Fink Bressak and Sher Tremonte should have their licenses reviewed for possible disbarment. He wrote, "It is terrible because they are hiding behind their law licenses to do these deplorable acts, and one can only say that for them to defend a rapist, thief, fraud, manipulator, extortionist, sadist, fake gangster, such as Sean Combs, and get a paycheck for it, and do it with a straight face, and then sleep at night, well, it makes them just as worse as their client, and it is deplorable. And I reject every single word they have said and every statement they have made in their motion to dismiss because they are liars and just wrong and misusing the laws to lie to this court and help Mr. Sean Combs get away with his rape." Attorneys on behalf of Sean Combs have filed multiple documents that call Cardella Smith's assertions transparently false, stating in a filing once again, plaintiff seeks to persuade this court that he is the subject of an ever-growing conspiracy to frame him and cover up an alleged assault. The lawyers allege that affidavits, transcripts, other exhibits reportedly from people with connections to Combs are just fake documents. For example, one of the documents names Catherine Preston as defendant's agent, but according to Combs' attorneys, Catherine Preston is an intimate associate of plaintiff, whom plaintiff refers to as his wife. They also point out that, quote, "The additions to the proposed response are elaborations on plaintiff's conspiratorial narrative, including the claim that defendant, again Sean Combs, must have had plaintiff's mother killed because the coroner listed her cause of death as undetermined." And they end by saying that even if every single claim that Cardella Smith was making in his amended response was true, his claim is time barred by the statute of limitations, and therefore all of this is moot. Now, so far, no word from the judge on whether Cardella Smith's amended response will be accepted by the court or not, but should be interesting to see. And in the meantime, Combs' legal team is also asking the court to sanction Cardella Smith for his frivolous lawsuits, or for what they claim are frivolous lawsuits, and they want to keep him from filing any more of them. They state this is not plaintiff's first attempt at a shakedown, and unless this court intervenes, it will not be his last. Plaintiff has a lengthy history of filing frivolous lawsuits in this district and beyond. A Pacer search reveals that plaintiff appears on the caption in 173 lawsuits and appeals in the Sixth Circuit and its district courts. The overwhelming majority, if not all, of plaintiff's cases have been dismissed as meritless. Still, he has continued filing. Numerous judges have admonished plaintiff to stop litigating. Plaintiff has ignored them. But we shall see if this is another case that gets thrown out, or maybe it will progress. Time will tell. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And as always,
All right, guys. That is Sidebar with Jesse Weber. I like him. I really do. And we have been working on Sean P. Diddy Combs, the Diddler. You know, I needed to get caught up on him because a lot been going on. So I'm making it tonight to catch up, you know. So this video here I just showed, I had mentioned before you all came in that I had did a piece on Cardella Smith. And this was I had did a piece on him because he sued Diddy from behind bars in prison, and he won the judgment for $100 million. I ain't say 2 million, 3 million. I said $100 million. Yes, he did. And I had my own court docs too that I had did. And I got these court docs, and this was back in May 31st, 2024, when I had did it. And let me see, maybe I can just bring up that video from back then. And oh gosh, you know, your hair get tangled. My hair get tangled up, and I have to pull it apart. Let me see. Can I find that one there? Because I brought up the one where I did on Jennifer being named in another suit, the Diddler. Yeah. But while I found that video, we're going to be moving on. It's called Moving On. Let me see, can I find that video about Cordella? So that was back in May when let me show y'all this I had did this video here when Diddy had first got, after he was locked up, and I thought it was just funny. I'm gonna get to the matter at hand. I did this video on Diddy. When did I do this video before? I did this video 1 month ago. It's been a month ago. And then we're going to get back to it. Okay, I want to play this. This is supposed to be, I'm pretending like one of them, the guy in the gray shirt, is Diddy. And then the other one is like one of his, look, yes men, or whatever, walking beside him. Whoever you want to say the guy in the blue shirt is, I don't know. Okay, but it ain't cool being no jive turkey. And I think I released this around the time of Thanksgiving or something. Okay. Oh, it is. Say Thanksgiving. No bail for Sean Diddy Combs on Monday. His Thanksgiving, and it's what his Thanksgiving, his first Thanksgiving behind bars. That's what it just got to cut off. But here it is, guys. To me, that was his Thanksgiving gift. Because, you know, he was locked up on September the 16th, and he tried to get out. He couldn't get out, right? And he realized he's going to be there for Thanksgiving. So I thought I may make a little fun for him. That's all. Okay. I just thought it may be a little fun. Diddy True Mob Boss. Oh, yes. Diddy True Mob Boss. Oh, my God. Okay, let's go ahead and get on to the next matter at hand. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. The next video. Now, I did this one here. This video here ties into a lot of stuff that's going on now. Okay. Everybody probably have seen this video. I don't know whether you've seen it or not. You probably hadn't heard about it. Tony Buzbee in Houston, you know. Houston, oh yes. That's Texas. Everything is big in Texas. It take you a whole week to get out of Texas. Seem like you be driving forever. Okay, when I'm gonna get to the next state? Boy, I'm driving through Texas. I'm still in Texas. You fall asleep for a couple hours. Your husband driving. I'm still in Texas. We're still in Texas. When we gonna get out of Texas? We got a long time. We need to pull over to a hotel and stay for the night because we still in Texas. Maybe we'll get out of Texas. We may be getting out of here probably tomorrow night. Texas, everything is big in Texas. Tony Buzbee is big in Texas. He's a rich, powerful, rich lawyer. Yes, he lives a big lifestyle. You can't bully Tony Buzbee. No, I watched a lot of Tony Buzbee videos. That man, he got money dripping off his fingertips. And he is not an attorney that he got to chase people down. They don't mess with Tony Buzbee. Y'all better leave that man alone. But anyway, this was 3 months ago. WFAA News, Channel 8 News, reported on this. And I did a live on this when it happened. When this was being reported, I went live with it too. Yes, I did. So, but I'm bringing it back to context so you all can, because a lot of things have happened since this video. Okay, so we're going to watch it. The information is going to be down in my description box under my video. So, and credit goes to WFAA for this video on Tony Buzbee. Texas attorney announces 120 new SA allegations against Diddy during that time. 120. And since then, because Diddy has been locked up, we got people not afraid to come out. People are speaking their truth. People are, it's okay to come out now. It's okay to speak on it. It's okay. But I can't tell you it's okay because this man, Diddy got the diddler arms alone. He still got people that do things for him. So, I ain't getting into that. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and get into it. What you say? I love Buzbee. Don't mess with the Texas. It's the slogan. Yeah, don't mess with Texas. Texas. Yes. Okay, here we go. Tony Buzbee. Okay.
My name is Tony Buzbee. I'm a lawyer here in Houston. I'm licensed in Texas and in New York. And I'll introduce other members of our team as they speak. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very...
Oh, guys, let me just say this. I'm supposed to be doing another live on the meathead boy. Y'all know who I'm talking about, meathead, right? I got everything loaded on my slides and everything. Took care of that today. But I wanted to give a day of rest between that. Okay? So I decided to put my focus on this for tonight. Because all day today, I've been cleaning, been trying to get that big master bathroom together. Okay? It's a lot of work. Okay? So I set this one up because it's easier. And I needed to get everybody updated on Diddy. Okay? That's why. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and play because I love the fact that Tony Buzbee, that man say, don't play with him. He ain't no cheap shit. He ain't no cheap suit wearing attorney. This man wears some expensive suits. And I know, because I can tell. I can see them. He got, they think Diddy and Jay-Z think they're the only ones with money. Oh, no. Tony Buzbee got money just like y'all do. When I say just like y'all do, your money ain't up in the sky and his is down on the ground. No, his money is up in the sky too. He just made his differently. He's a very rich, successful attorney with lots of money. So y'all better move back, because this man, he big just like they are. So, but he ain't got them people to answer to. Oh, yes, we know Meathead. Okay. He said he's like the tough cases. Yes. Hi, Sonny Bunny. Thank you for us listening, Bunny. Thank you for being here in the Pink House. Thank you. Oh.
Very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
No offense, but if you still think that driving food
And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You'll be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics. I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. And when I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times, it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive, but it is what it is, so we will press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. I don't want to focus.
You don't need a fancy doorbell camera to
of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that it revives such claims and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying, It says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape or even let them read for Sean Combs. You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reports, reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team assistants, medical records, reports that were made to the authorities. And I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI. You should know that several of the individuals, and when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested, and drugs were found in their system, weird drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or trank, which based on our research is known as a horse tranquilizer. Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class action is when one or two people file a case on behalf of a group of people. That's not this. These cases will be individual cases. Each case will live and die on its own merit. These cases will be filed individually, one plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved in the case. Each case may be filed in one venue like California, another case may be filed in New York. One case may sue just Sean Combs, but multiple other people. One case may sue a range of people. I would expect most, though, to be filed, as I said, in New York and Los Angeles. Now, I know this. Many of you came here thinking or hoping, or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly, but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. And I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. They know who they are. I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused, or they're witnessing other people being assaulted and abused and then paid and threatened and told to leave, typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave. and then threatened as they were leaving. So in addition to Sean Combs, you should know the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation, anyone who participated in such in any way, anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct, anyone who was in the room and watched it happen but made no effort to stop it, any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on but failed to stop it, any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it but did nothing to report it or stop it, and any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data. Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened. When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm.
Why should anyone never ignore the tingling in the hands or feet caused by nerve damage?
The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse of minors. Given the large volume of cases, and given our other docket obligations, and given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days. Now, it's rare, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, this type of activity is pervasive in our society, and it's rare we get a chance where we can really focus on this as a country and really focus on this about how pervasive this is and what we as collectively can do about it. So I thought I'd take this opportunity before I go into some of the individual cases and talk about some of the individual claims being made and so you'll get a sense of what this 120 people group looks like individually. I want to bring forward Carrie Paul. She's a national victim advocate who helps victims who have been victimized by this type of conduct. And she has some important words, and I hope you'll pay close attention. I think it's important that you hear from her.
Hello, I'm Carrie Paul with the National Victim Advocate. It's not easy for any survivor to come forward. Our culture doesn't believe survivors. It blames and questions them. Instead of showing support, many choose to enable abusers. The media runs stories asking why it took so long for survivors to come forward instead of asking what barriers exist. We also don't equip law enforcement with the ability to handle sexual assault crimes. Lack of funding translates to lack of training. We have officers in the field that don't know what to say to a rape victim. and also an alarming amount of backlogged, untested rape kits. Prosecutors are focused on what they can prove in a case, and if so, how to do that at time of trial. Advocates and staff are stretched thin with growing caseloads in the criminal justice system. Most people don't know how the criminal justice works in general. There isn't enough staff or resources to adequately explain the entire process to every victim and survivor. Our culture works against victims and survivors every day, and abusers know this. Abusers work themselves into positions of power, building a public image that is trusted and financially large enough to make people look away. Abusers are unfortunately very skilled at power and control, the foundation of abuse. They seek victims who are vulnerable, such as children, their employees, and their intimate partners, all who see a different version than the public does, all who rely on the abuser in some way. And for those that do come forward and aren't believed, face questions like, are you sure it happened that way? Were you drinking? What were you wearing? All of this creates an environment that enables abusers to continue abusing them and future victims. To the survivors that have come forward despite not being believed at some point in time, your courage is like nothing we have seen before. We thank you for coming forward for yourself and all survivors. And lastly, I want all survivors that are watching this to know we believe you and we support you. Thank you.
In 2019, I was homeless.
I want you now to hear from my co-counsel, Andrew Van Arsdale.
We thank you for coming forward for yourself and all survivors. And lastly, I want all survivors that are watching this to know we believe you and we support you. Thank you.
I want you now to hear from my co-counsel, Andrew Van Arsdale. We've created a sexual abuse hotline, and I want him to visit with us just a few moments about how that works and the kind of volume of calls we've received.
Thank you, Tony. Like Tony said, my name is Andrew Van Arsdale. I'm the managing partner of ABA Law Group. We have offices in California, Montana, and North Carolina. To build off of what you just so well said, it's very hard to come forward. And given what we've experienced the past 10 days is really unprecedented in my career, at least. We represent thousands of survivors of abuse. And never, ever in a 10-day period have we seen over 3,000 people come forward, or we've confirmed and decided to investigate and represent 120 people while we're continuing to work through another 100+ cases to prove them up, to validate what had happened here, and to hold those that are responsible accountable. And so like Tony said, we've set this up. It's 1-800-200-7474. I have a team of people standing by literally. If you know that this happened to someone and you have information about it, please contact us. If this happened to you, come forward. There's attorney-client privilege here. What you tell us is in confidence. Yes, we'll have to go out and build your case, but we will protect you. And the other thing that I want to say is the pattern and practice of this, again, is unprecedented. Over 30+ years of the same sort of events happening. People thrust into the circle reportedly and horrible things happening to them as a result. And from talking to these people that have come forward these past 10 days, I can tell you unequivocally that because the federal government did what it needed to do and indicted this man, that they put him in jail and a judge kept him in jail. They tell me directly, this validates my feelings. For so long, I thought it was my fault. What is it about me that put myself in that scenario? What was I wearing at the time? What did I do to be subjected to such horrific treatment at these people that I was trying to trust? When we know now, it was not your fault. You were victimized by a group of powerful people that operated for 30 plus years, taking advantage of their wealth and the power that they held within the music industry. So again, thank you to every single person that has come forward and contacted our office over the past 10 days. If you or someone you know suffered the same sort of treatment, please contact us at the number behind me and we will help you. Thank you.
Drinking coffee every day didn't work for me.
I think it speaks to how important this issue is in the United States and frankly internationally, that we have reputable people here that want to provide kind of information that I think victims need to hear, witnesses need to hear, the public needs to hear. Let me introduce to you now Olivia Rivers from the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, and let her visit with you a few moments about these types of cases.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Q Olivia Rivers. I am just served my 6th year as the board chair for the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault. I'm also the CEO for the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, which is a local rape crisis center here in the Houston area. So thank you for being here as we address these heinous crimes. Sexual assault is not just a crime of violence against the body. It's an assault on the very essence of human dignity and safety. It shatters lives, it destroys confidence, and all too often, it leaves survivors feeling like they are voiceless, isolated, and vulnerable. The reality for many survivors is that coming forward to report their assault is one of the most difficult and daunting tasks that they will ever have to do. And for some, it may take days, months, or even years to speak up, if they ever do. The reasons for this have been mentioned, but include the fear of being disbelieved, being blamed or judged, and of course, retaliation. The trauma of the assault itself being compounded by the trauma of the criminal justice process, where survivors must relive their experience in order to seek justice. And these feelings and fears are further exacerbated when the allegations are against prominent figures in the entertainment industry or Hollywood. Cases involving powerful figures often attract significant media attention, which can deter victims from coming forward due to fear of public exposure or scrutiny. The intense focus on these high-profile cases can make survivors feel that their personal lives are being put under a microscope, causing further emotional distress. These allegations mentioned here today, as reported, reflect deeply troubling claims that deserve thorough investigation, and no individual, regardless of their stature, is above the law or public accountability. Sadly, the statistics paint a very disturbing picture. According to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. In the US alone, there are approximately 463,000 victims of rape or sexual assault every year, and these numbers barely scratch the surface, as sexual violence remains one of the most underreported crimes. But the numbers that follow tell an even more troubling story. Only about 23% of sexual assaults are reported to law enforcement. Of those, just 5% lead to an arrest, and even fewer, less than 1% of reported cases ever result in a conviction, which is a devastating gap between the crime and the justice that survivors deserve. I want to briefly focus on our state here in Texas. According to the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, 6.3 million Texans, men and women, will experience some form of violence. That's every 2 minutes someone is sexually assaulted, meaning during the course of this press conference, around 60 individuals will forever be changed by this violence. And those are just a few of the victims. Obviously, this is unacceptable. We cannot allow this cycle of silence and inaction to continue. We have to create an environment where survivors feel empowered to come forward, where they are met with empathy and respect and support, not skepticism and blame. We have to ensure that our legal system is equipped to handle these cases with the seriousness they deserve, and that survivors have access to the resources that they need beyond the legal courtroom. We have to address the root causes of this epidemic: prevention, awareness, and fostering environments where respect, consent, and safety are non-negotiable values. Additionally, support for survivors has to be holistic. They have to have access to counseling, medical services, legal advocacy, and of course, community support, regardless of whether they choose to report or not. To every survivor who has come forward, your bravery is an inspiration. To those who are still grappling with their decision, know that you are not alone and that your voice matters. Your story matters. We see you, we believe you, and we are committed to fighting for a future where sexual violence is no longer tolerated. And where decision, know that you are not alone and that your voice matters. Your story matters. We see you, we believe you, and we are committed to fighting for a future where sexual violence is no longer tolerated and where justice is not the exception, but the standard. Thank you.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check.
I want to visit with you real quickly before we close here about some specific instances without disclosing the victim's name. You probably know that depending on the age of the victim, you can file these cases, these individual cases under Jane Doe or John Doe. Each state is different in that respect. Typically, there is a balancing test, like the public's right to know the name of the victim and plaintiff versus the confidentiality and the safety of the plaintiff. So we'll have to struggle with that with each one of these cases. Our intention, of course, is to, like we always do, file these cases under a pseudonym until the court tells us otherwise. But let me share with you a few, just kind of give you a sense of the kind of cases and the kind of instances that people are calling and reporting that we are trying to corroborate, vet, and these are the ones that we've already corroborated, vetted, and collected evidence on. One individual who was 22 years at the time she was assaulted said that the typical MO at one of these parties that have been widely discussed in the press was that when you were handed a drink, and now we know that the drink is laced with something, if you refused to drink it, you were kicked out of the party. Now, let that sink in for a minute. I mean, the admission to this party was that you had to drink the chosen drink that was handed to you. And now we know that in most cases, I would say 90% of the cases, these individuals were drugged with some sort of drug. That was kind of the MO. Another instance, this individual who was 9 years old at the time was taken to an audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records. Other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them were minors. This individual was sexually abused, allegedly by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal. Another instance, another minor told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual, minor, was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up by, allegedly, by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again, allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore. And I could go on. I mean, literally, you're sensing a theme here. It's the same theme, and it all involves some sort of drug. One instance, an individual who was 20 years old at the time was asked to attend, just saw her on the street, asked to attend a party in a hotel. She was flattered, went to the party, was given one drink and doesn't remember anything else. Ultimately, was so messed up, went to the hospital where they found cocaine and this horse tranquilizer in her blood system. I want to give you a quote from a very young man who told us over the phone about his experience and all the things that happened to him. He says, allegedly at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs and his friends in the effort to try to sign a record deal. This was kind of what he was told he would have to do. His quote is, "Had he not been in power, I feel like I could have been something great. I quit the industry because of what Sean Combs did to me." And that's really what it comes down to. We are pursuing this, asking you to support this effort, to encourage witnesses and victims to come forward and bring your evidence so we can continue to break down this wall of silence and we can continue to have these stories heard. This is the beginning of what I hope to be a national dialogue. This type of sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sexual exploitation should never happen in the United States or anywhere else. This should have never been allowed to go on for so long. This conduct has created a mass of individuals who are injured, scared, and scarred. If you are one of those individuals, we ask you to reach out. If not to us, to someone you trust. If you're someone who witnessed any of these events, we ask you to reach out. Your name can remain confidential. With that, I'll take a few questions, not many, maybe two, but if you have a question, I'll be pleased to try to answer it.
How many minors are making accusations in total, and are the feds aware of the allegations of minors in the case?
I don't know what the feds are aware of, okay, but I do know it's 25 out of this 120. But I will say this to that point. We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important things to say. Yes.
Were all of the children auditioning because they were musicians, or were any of them kids of employees or anything like that?
All seeking either TV or some sort of music career with promises of, we're going to make you a star. Instead, basically did things to them such that they don't want to have anything to do with the entertainment industry ever again. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your attention. We're going to go now. Thank you.
Okay, guys. That, wait, let me just pause it. Yeah, that was 3 months ago when attorney Tony Buzbee did that interview, that live, that press conference. Okay. And although it was 3 months ago, all those 120 victims, a lot of babies, 25 babies. That's a lot. 25 people that is underage. And underage meaning they lock them real young. They like to steal their childhood, steal their mind, steal their bodies. It's almost like a body snatcher, snatching the bodies. I don't know why would you do that? Why would you destroy a child's life when you got kids of your own? Why would you do that? How can you look other kids, your kids in the face in the morning? How can you pick up your kids and your baby girl and then see your all your kids and look at them every day when you're doing something like this? I don't see how. He stated that it was 25 in the opening of his statement. Where are the listening ears? Reporters listening ears. Yeah, they have been reporting on it. I got something else, but before I go on to this, let me show you all this. And Queen, I want to make sure you are okay. You Queen, you're doing okay, right? And I understand you saying just as long as you're helping others. And that's wonderful. Allegedly, he misused his own child also. Oh, my Lord. One of them. Oh, my God. Take the innocence of these children and prevent their spirits. Even if you got money from Diddy, they are forever broken. And a lot of times he gave them money after he did what he did, got them. They didn't even know what was going to happen to him, and he did. And then you give them money to get up and get out of here. Leave. Be quiet. Oh, gosh. But I'm going to play before it gets so late, because we're not going to be long. I'm going to drop my link if anybody want to come up, because I'm just going to play one more short video. Something that is happened just, I think it's yesterday or the other day. I think it was just the other day. Let me just see. Let me get rid of this one here. Okay, yeah. This is something to take food for thought, because I've heard this been going on and on social media. I have heard this going on social media. And when I say I heard it going on social media, it have. Other content creators been posting about it when he first was locked up and before he got locked up. So it's been going around, especially on TikTok and stuff. So right now I heard he touched that son and twins when small. Pray not true, but he's so nasty. He is nasty. He is nasty, dirty. He's nasty, dirty. That's what you call just nasty, dirty. Demon nasty, dirty. Okay, let's pray that it's not. Let's pray. We just all we can do. But if anyone want to come up, you're welcome to do so. We're not going to stay long, so let me just go ahead and get this last video off. So, and this has happened 4 hours ago. It was because when I looked at it, I think it said, when I just looked at it and said 4 hours now, I remember. When I watched this today, it said 1 hour ago. That was right before my live was getting ready to start. So, and I've been on my live for 1 hour and 40 minutes. And so now it's saying 4 hours ago. So I want you all, and this been going on. And I remember other videos about it and other content creators talking about it as well. And his mammy is no better. Yeah, they be kissing all on each other, and she be at all the parties, and she know everything that's been going on. Like she don't know. That she knows. Yes, she does. Let me go ahead and get this. Okay, let me go ahead and get it started. This is not long at all. Okay. It's Law and Crime again, Law and Crime Network again with Jesse. Okay. Jay-Z legal team bribed people to sue the lawyer for P. Diddy accuser. Okay. So this is Law and Crime Network. All the videos that we looked at will be down in my description box below the video. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, with this last one. Here we go. Oops.
Twist in the legal showdown between Jay-Z and attorney Tony Buzbee. The two have been going back and forth in the court system and on social media after Buzbee filed an amended lawsuit on behalf of his client, accusing the 99 Problems rapper of raping a 13-year-old girl with Diddy back in 2000, both of which have denied the allegation. But the accusation alone has Jay-Z and his team fighting back. First, he vehemently denied the allegation on the Roc Nation social media page and claimed Buzbee was extorting him for money, while also throwing shots at Buzbee, calling him a deplorable human, saying the Texas attorney has no honor or dignity, and he's just an ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Meanwhile, Buzbee responded saying Jay-Z was bullying and harassing him and the plaintiff in that case, while maintaining he'd let the matter settle itself in court. But now in a new lawsuit, a Texas man is claiming Jay-Z's lawyers are bribing people to sue Buzbee and his law firm. This 13-page lawsuit was filed on January 3rd in Harris County, Texas, and the plaintiff in the filing is being represented by none other than Buzbee's law firm, who filed the suit on his behalf. Now, Jose Maldonado, who is the plaintiff in this suit, is suing Jay-Z's attorneys and his company, Roc Nation, but not Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z himself. According to the lawsuit, the defendants in this suit are Marcy Bryan Croft, her law firm MJ Legal, Roc Nation, and the law firm who is representing Jay-Z, Quinn Emanuel Urquhart and Sullivan. They allege the defendants conspired to obstruct justice by engaging in shadowy operatives to illegally get more than 24 current and former clients of Buzbee law firm to turn around and sue them. The suit claims Roc Nation is financing this alleged effort, while attorneys Marcy Croft and the law firm Quinn Emanuel are orchestrating this whole thing. According to the suit, the defendants' agents were pretending to work for the state of Texas and allegedly flashed fake badges, which the suit says wasn't very smart or careful, but also illegal. The suit states the defendants' agents offered as much as $10,000 to a former client to sue the Buzbee law firm, but the so-called agents were allegedly caught on audio tape red-handed. The suit claims attorney Marcy Croft, who is a lawyer but also a member of Team Roc, was orchestrating that whole effort. Then in another recording, those agents were describing in great detail the alleged criminal conspiracy. The suit claims they went so far to admit the lawsuits would be reported in the press, and some former clients already accepted money to join that alleged effort. Aka Jay-Z, isn't named as a defendant in the lawsuit. However, the suit claims Roc Nation and Jay-Z are synonymous, given the Mogul is the founder and chairman. The lawsuit acknowledges Buzbee's law firm filed the rape lawsuit against Jay-Z in New York federal court, and as a result, Jay-Z sued Buzbee's law firm in Los Angeles state court. But the suit claims while all of that legal back and forth was going on, Jay-Z's attorneys who represent himself and his Roc Nation denied in open court and in the press their involvement in the alleged scheme. I want to give a huge thanks to you, our viewers, and our amazing sponsors like Upside. Upside is a super cool and free app that gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and restaurants. Whether it's a nice restaurant or a quick grab-and-go meal, I can use Upside for both. And guess what? I can use Upside to get cash back when I do. It's really so easy and simple to use and completely free, so why not try it? It's actual real cash back too. It's money that appears in your Upside app that you can transfer straight into your bank account. So here's what you do. You download the Upside app, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside, you pay as usual using a debit or a credit card, and follow the steps on the app and get paid. You can use Upside at places like Dunkin' Donuts, Cinnabon, Pinkberry, Chipotle, Taco Bell.
Guys, I do remember this case. I do remember hearing a lot about this on TikTok, where several TikTokers have voiced concern. Let me just finish that.
Used him as a pawn. He alleges on behalf of Marcy Croft, 2 people attempted to contact him many times and went so far as to go to what they believed to be Maldonado's home. Instead, they went to his dad's house and allegedly identified themselves as federal officers. After realizing they were at the wrong home, they continued to contact Maldonado, and Maldonado claims they were pushy. Once they got in touch with him, he claims those individuals said they were with the state and they were putting together a lawsuit on behalf of Marcy Croft and the company she worked for. The suit alleges Croft said she would assign Maldonado's case to someone who could get him a lot of money. Instead, Maldonado contacted the Buzbee law firm, and now they're suing for solicitation and civil conspiracy. In a statement to the Houston Chronicle, Buzbee said, quote, "The conduct alleged by Mr. Maldonado is illegal and unethical. We know investigators have gone all over the United States illegally contacting our former clients to try to entice them with money to sue our firm. According to Mr. Maldonado, we now know who is behind this effort. We won't be intimidated nor deterred in our important work. I expect more lawsuits will follow as we continue to hear former clients report this egregious conduct," end quote. But Marcy Croft fired back against the allegations, saying the lawsuit reeks of desperation. She also told the Houston Chronicle, quote, "For over 25 years, I've dedicated my career to exposing and dismantling networks of fraud and manipulation. I didn't ask to be a part of this fight, but now that he's dragged me into it, he should know that I'm not someone who backs down. Mr. Buzbee should be worried. Truth and justice are on my side, and I have every intention of holding him accountable." It doesn't seem like the back and forth between Tony Buzbee and Jay-Z and his attorneys are slowing down anytime soon. So let's bring on attorney and litigator Rich Schoenstein to get his take on this. Rich, always great to see you. What's your reaction to this lawsuit, especially since Tony Buzbee has made these allegations before?
Yeah, well, there's this whole sideshow now between Tony Buzbee and the lawyers who are purportedly representing Jay-Z, especially Quinn Emanuel. There's been some litigation already, and now this is a new suit down in Texas that to some extent is kind of a sideshow, right? The main question are still these really salacious claims against Sean Combs and against Jay-Z and potentially against other people about what happened. And now there's all this stuff between the attorneys that is very interesting for a guy like me, but maybe a little less interesting to others. I don't know.
And why do you think, Buzbee didn't name Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, specifically? Instead, the suit named Roc Nation as a defendant, but the suit also claims that Roc Nation is kind of financing this whole alleged scheme.
When I read a complaint like this, and I read the whole thing, I never know if it's true. I don't know if anything in this is true or not. And I make no judgment because I'm not in a position to make a judgment. But even assuming what he alleges is true, he has a problem connecting it all the way up the chain. He has this attorney who he says is down in Texas trying to get clients of Buzbee to pursue malpractice claims against him. And then he says she's working with Roc Nation and Quinn Emanuel. And he has some examples of her working with them, but on projects that are wholly unrelated to this matter. So he's already got a problem, even if he can prove that she did something wrong, connecting that up to Quinn Emanuel and then up to Roc Nation. It would be another step to connect it further to the owners of that company.
And, it was interesting kind of reading through that lawsuit as well, too, because, the plaintiff in this case claims that he was a pawn. But in your opinion, do you think in a way he's also being used as a pawn through the Buzbee law firm?
Well, that's a really interesting way of putting it. He is a piece at play, pawn or rook, or I don't know what piece. And yeah, it sounds like if you accept everything that's alleged in the complaint is true, then what he's saying is these people came down to me at Texas and tried to get me to sue Buzbee for malpractice. And they offered me money and they lied to me and they told me they were affiliated with the government and they told me Buzbee was going down and they gave me all this misinformation to try to solicit me to sue my lawyers. And then you're absolutely right. Now, Buzbee is using that person to be a plaintiff against the others because he probably doesn't have standing to bring a direct claim in that regard. I'm not sure he can sue this other lawyer, Marcy Croft, for going after his clients. So he's using his client to do that part of it.
And what do you also make of kind of this allegation that all of this was caught on this audio recording? Do you think that this audio recording is going to be kind of like, the nail that hit the head or kind of like this damning proof that they claim it to be in this lawsuit? But what are your thoughts on this alleged recording as well, too?
So it's interesting. I've been in cases where there are audio recordings and the decision is always, when do you mention it? Because I've been in cases where you don't say anything about the audio recording. You let the other party swear up, down, and sideways that they didn't do it, and then you play the tape, right? That's one way to do it. So coming forward in a complaint and saying that we have these audio recordings, remember, this is all, not just litigation. This is all also publicity. So I think the reason it's in this complaint is to tell the world, take these allegations seriously. We have them on tape. I've also found in my travels that audio tapes don't always sound like exactly what the party proffering them thinks they sound like.
Yeah, and it seems like this kind of legal back and forth between Tony Buzbee and Jay-Z. It seems that, Buzbee has mentioned that or said that he believes that Jay-Z is harassing and bullying him. But when it comes to this particular lawsuit, Buzbee mentioned in his statement to the Houston Chronicle that he expects more lawsuits will come out as they keep hearing former clients report this alleged conduct. What do you kind of make of that? While Marcy Croft, who seems to kind of be at the center of this suit, said this lawsuit reeks of desperation.
Yeah, so I don't know if there'll be more lawsuits or not. I mean, didn't Buzbee say he had 120 clients back, right? So he hasn't filed 120 lawsuits. He hasn't filed anywhere near 120 lawsuits. I don't know if that's because he's strategically sequencing them, or maybe he's resolved some of them. I don't know. That would be possible. Or he's decided not to bring some of them. So I'm only going to go by what is actually filed in court. I can't speculate if he has other clients who are willing to be chess pieces.
It seems like it's a puzzle and a game that just won't stop. In the past, We've seen Jay-Z's attorneys also fire off some written responses, lots of motions, but that was slammed by a federal judge because of their attacks on Buzbee. Do you think they'll continue to kind of go with that aggressive tactic or kind of change up their strategy going forward?
I think you're always augmenting your strategy, but Quinn Emanuel is one of the top tier law firms in the United States, and they're excellent at litigation. They're highly aggressive. So it's no surprise, and they'll make every motion they think they need to make. They'll bring every claim they think they need to bring, and they will zealously represent their client. At the same time, if you start getting shot down by a judge, most lawyers will change their approach a little bit, at least with that particular judge. So we'll see. But I expect them to be very aggressive. They and Buzbee are really butting heads here, making it rather personal in a way that detracts from the real issues in the case, but it is what it is.
And in your opinion, how do you see this even being litigated at this point? Or do you even see this happening anytime soon?
Well, I mean, you have a mess, Elizabeth. So we have the important complaints are the people who allege that they're victims of sexual abuse and discrimination. those complaints are coming in the federal courts and they need to be litigated. And of course, you have criminal proceedings against Sean Combs, and that needs to be litigated. And that's going to be at the front of the line because you're going to do the criminal proceeding first. And then you've got these civil proceedings. And then you have these sideshow claims by people suing Buzbee and Buzbee suing Quinn Emanuel. And now this guy, Jose Maldonado, suing a bunch of people, including Quinn Emanuel. They'll all move at different paces. This latest one is filed in state court in Harris County, Texas. I don't practice there regularly. I've had cases down there. I don't know how quickly it'll move compared to anything else, but it's a mess of litigation. What would take years to get through if it all goes all the way to verdict.
And talk to me really also about civil conspiracy and solicitation. How, what are the defendants kind of looking at if they are being held liable for those claims?
Ever since Kimora was a little girl, she
That's interesting. And so again, this is Texas law, which is not my expertise. They are claiming that in Texas, barratry is illegal. Barratry is essentially the solicitation of a client to bring a lawsuit. And different states have different rules on the extent to which you can advertise, you can reach out to clients, you can suggest lawsuits. And I don't know what the current state of Texas law is, but I will accept the proposition that it is to some extent illegal down in Texas. I mean, that's a lot to consider, but he's got to prove that they did something illegal. He has to show that he had a private right of action to pursue it, and he has to show damages.
All right. It's a lot to kind of consider. And I feel like, I've kept on mentioning that it doesn't seem like anything is going to be slowing down anytime soon. Rich, I want to thank you so much for your insight into this and kind of breaking all of this down for us really quickly before we sign you off. Is there anything else about this suit that you'd like to add?
Not about this particular suit. I mean, this is a growing mass of litigation. The underlying lawsuits, to me, are the really important things that need to be figured out because there is some very horrible, egregious conduct alleged in these cases. I don't know if that's true either, right? None of us really know what's true and what's not true. So that needs to be sorted out. Some of these allegations by the attorneys against each other, I sort of am dismissive of them. I've referred to them as sideshows. But actually, if some of it is true, it would be troubling. Some of the allegations about the way Buzbee has gone about looking for clients are troubling. These allegations about what this lawyer was doing down in Texas to contact his clients, if true, would be troubling. So it's a lot, Elizabeth.
It's a lot and super messy. And I guess we'll kind of have to wait and see how this all continues to play out from here. Rich, I want to thank you so much again for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. See you soon.
At this time, Rock Nation and the lawyers at Quinn Emanuel have not publicly responded to the lawsuit, but they previously denied Buzbee's allegations. Reporting for Law and Crime, I'm Elizabeth Milner.
All right, guys, that was the last video. Law and Crime. Ooh, they always do some good stuff. I always like watching. Okay. So I've been keeping track of everything going on with the Diddy case. And remember I did, before I go, let me show you this. Remember I talked about the Cordell Smith? He's the man that's in prison that sued P. Diddy. He was in that second video I showed. Remember the second video? He was in the second video that I showed. His name is Cordell Smith. He was doing his, he was in court, but he was at the jailhouse from video chat at the jailhouse, sitting at a desk, talking with the judge. And there was the judge was on a video camera. He was on one by himself. And then there was an attorney in the courthouse on one, but nobody else was in the courthouse but that attorney. And maybe that judge was in the courthouse too with the attorney sitting at her bench. Yeah, So it was just the three of them being shown. And he sued Diddy for everything that Diddy allegedly did to him, which is SA him, everything, drugged him, allegedly drugged, SA him, did this, did that, and everything. And so, and threatened him and his family, and just did a whole lot of stuff. Okay. And this man was too afraid to talk because of that. Now this is him. And this stuff I did this video a while ago. Okay. Months ago. Okay. And this is him here. And I had these pictures like this for months. Okay. I did a video on it. Now, here is the court docs, some of them. Now, in that second video that we saw, the one that was named, the one that was under Law&Crime, Jennifer Lopez named in P. Diddy's lawsuit from hostile inmate. Yeah, they're talking about him. This is the inmate. And he plays Jennifer Lopez at knowing about everything because she was dating him. I think she was part whatever. You know how people claim she be watching? I don't know, but that's allegedly. Okay. But this is him. This is the court docs. This is the state of Michigan in the 39th Circuit Court from Leeway County. Civil. This is a civil case. Now he won. This is proof of service. He won his case and won a $100 million judgment because Diddy and his attorney was a no-show. So he proved his case and he won. It falls on him to win. Okay. And then I did have all the other paperwork as well. You can see it here. I'm not going to go through it because I did that but I want to show you in that video we did the one on Law&Crime where they said he named Jennifer Lopez in this judgment here. And you can see it here. But this was back in May 31st, 2024. Last year. And you see right here, enter a $1 million default judgment. He won that judgment. And then when Diddy realized this man won and he's supposed to pay this man out $1 million, this man is not getting out into, I think it's 2036 or something. I have to look to make sure it is 2036, I think. But he's in prison for years. And I'm going to check that number out. So don't quote me on it yet until I make sure. But anyway, I said that money be sitting there when he get out. But and he put a halt on Diddy's head. A halt put on one of Diddy's homes that was up for sale. And they granted that. Y'all can see this here. This been so long that it's been months. Police officer or anyone else to keep any assault hidden. Oh yeah, this is when Cordell said that on 21 that Diddy, he was saying that Diddy paid the police department, right? And Diddy said, I never paid Detroit police officer or Monroe police officer or anyone else to keep an assault hidden. And the man claimed that Diddy actually came right before he was locked up. He showed up at the prison to visit him and to let him know who was still in power, and he's that man, and him and his family better keep quiet, and stuff like that. And on 22, I never visit the plaintiff, Derek Lee Cordello Smith, in prison. And the man said he did, and he said you can see it on the tapes or visitor's log. So this was September. This is the 11th day of September. It said the 12th, but then they crossed it out and put the 11th day of September 2024. This is 11th day. Sworn is subscribed and sworn before me on the 11th day of September 2024. And you see Sean Combs' name there. And then a few days later on September the 16th, Diddy was locked up. So this was the week before on a Wednesday. This was done. And Diddy found out the man won the lawsuit that he's supposed to pay him $11 million. So he filed back trying to until his attorney and him do whatever. But now he's in jail because the following week, because that happened on a Wednesday, that Monday morning, the Monday on the 16th, Diddy was picked up, locked up, taken to jail to the Metro Center. Yes, he was, and in New York. So you can see, I got other paperwork, but I'm not going to go through all that. But that was one of the things, and that was on that second video we played today. And Queen, yeah, that is a prime age. That's when they think it's a good age for them to, but he met her when she was so young. So young. That's what they do. That's what they did to Foxy Brown. That's what they did to all of them. That's what they did to Leah. That's what they did to all of them. They meet them when they're real young. Prime age. And then what's his name? R. Kelly decided, oh, because you know he's so stupid too. That man so stupid. Oh, I'm gonna marry her. His dumb self. Yeah. And he went off and married her. Yeah. Oh, he couldn't have done that. Couldn't have been my child. Hollywood on fire, and all those fires in California, not Hollywood Hills burning. God said he would repay mansions burning. Yes, I'm gonna do a video on that tonight before I go to bed. And I wanted to do a live on it, but I'm gonna do a video on it. I already got the video stuff sitting up here to do it on it because it's bad. And they're supposed to get 100 miles per hour winds, I think, Justice, coming in. Because we're getting all this strong stuff coming in, this blizzard, there's all the snow and winds and coldness, and it's going to go their direction. And the worst thing that you can have in fire is high winds. It just makes those embers and just pop all over the place and blow all on other houses and rooftops and businesses. And businesses are being burnt, everything. I just pray for everybody. There's several, there's people that have been unalived from this. Let me see what the word is lately. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Iconic Hollywood Boulevard evacuated as fires erupts in celebrities epicenter. Let me see. I know people have been unalived. Ooh, it's just terrible. Let me, since you brought that up, let me just bring up and see what's going on. Let me bring up that video on it, okay? If y'all don't mind. Do you mind if I bring it up? I know we're supposed to be getting off by now. Let me see, can I find it? What is that video about? Just give me 1 second. I think I thought I already had it sitting ready. Y'all make sure you check out my video on Super Mirror. I did catch up on Super Mirror. I think that was this morning. Yes, I did. I think that was Super Mirror I did. Tiffany Henyard. I did her this morning. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. This is with Fire Burns. This is with NBC LA. Channel 4. Okay, let me just play it, and then we're going to be getting ready to go, guys. I just want y'all to see what's going on. And that information would be down in my description box, okay? You know, I put everything down in the description box. So nobody come after me. Oh, I got to unmute it, don't I?
So this time yesterday, it's a completely different map. Right now, wind gusts 26 miles an hour in Van Nuys, 32 mile per hour gusts around Ontario, 23 mile per hour gusts around Santa Ana.
This is live,
so
guys.
We still have some wind gusts out there. Some of them are on the stronger side, but this map yesterday was completely colored in, and we had gusts in the 40 to 50 mile per hour range at this point. This has been a huge improvement tonight. And as we go through the next couple of hours, we'll still have this offshore wind. In fact, it's going to linger likely into early Friday. That's part of the reason why the red flag warning has actually been extended into Friday across the region. And I'll show you that in just a second. But right now, around the Sunset Fire, here are the current conditions. Franklin Canyon Park, we're looking at gusts at about 20 miles an hour. Around WeHo, it's been about 15 to 20 miles an hour. But notice the wind directions for WeHo, it's out of the west. Around Franklin Canyon Park, it's out of the northwest. And what ends up happening is around these canyons and valleys in here, around the Hollywood Hills and the Santa Monica Mountains, you end up with a lot of channeling of the winds. And that will switch the wind directions around. It'll make it a little bit erratic for firefighters to contend with. And we can also get some what we call Venturi effect, where you end up with a little bit of wind flowing into constricted area. It actually accelerates through the constricted area.
You know,
we sometimes get that in the valleys and the canyons where the wind speed picks up. Here's what the Palisades fire looks like. This is where we still have some strong gusts. Santa Monica Mountain Ridgeline wind gusts in about the mid 50 mile per hour range, so 54 miles an hour right now. Around Malibu Creek, 55 mile per hour wind gusts. As you get into lower elevations, though, the wind gusts are a lot lighter. Around Topanga Beach, about 19 mile per hour wind gusts. Santa Monica, not even reporting wind gusts at this point. Back to reality. It's just light and variable winds. And then this has been a huge improvement compared to yesterday. We were seeing 70 mile per hour gusts last night around the Eden Canyon area. Now we're looking at just 3 mile per hour winds. So essentially it's calm winds, but still pretty dry out there. This will allow the firefighters to gain a little bit of an upper hand on battling the fire. I wanted to show you what the winds look like for the Inland Empire as we go through the next couple of hours and the next few days. This is a great example of what we're seeing around the entire region. 9 o'clock tonight, we still have some breezy conditions out there. We're looking at winds in about the 20 to 30 mile per hour gust range at least. We're seeing some of that over the Orange County Mountains. But again, this is a huge improvement compared to what we had at this time yesterday. Now, as we go through the rest of the overnight hours, this is 2 o'clock in the morning for tomorrow. You can see that the winds are all relatively light across the IE. It will come back. We'll be watching for some strong wind gusts as we get into the afternoon. Not as strong as we had last night, but still 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts, a bit stronger in the mountains. That purple color in there, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. But that will last all the way into early Friday morning before you start to see some changes. So this is 4 o'clock in the morning for Friday. This is why we still have high fire danger. We have gusty Santa Ana winds still. South of Cajon Pass, we're still seeing wind gusts in that 20 to 30 mile per hour range or even stronger. Coming off the San Jacinto Mountains, we're looking at some very strong gusts, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. But here's where the improvement happens. Watch what happens as we go through the rest of the day on Friday. The wind speeds come down, but the most important thing to note on here, look at these wind directions. They're all out of the west or the southwest. That is an onshore breeze that essentially will decrease the fire danger and sort of end this horrific event for our area, although the fires will likely still be continuing to burn. Here's what it looks like for Ventura County and LA County Valley spots. Just a little quick recap as we go through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow. We still have the offshore flow out there. As we go through Thursday, just like the IE, expect the winds to get gusty at times, but not as strong as we had last night. Still, though, seeing gusts in about that 30 to 50 mile per hour range, depending on location. So we'll still have some very high fire danger across the area. We'll be watching this very closely because we're already stretched pretty thin. But getting into Friday afternoon, it turns into an onshore breeze. Might be a bit gusty at times, but still, this is a dramatic improvement from the offshore winds we've had essentially now for well over 24 hours. So we're looking forward to this improvement. But this is Friday, so we still have some time to go through here, and we will still have some gusty offshore winds.
And ask him what
tomorrow. Back to you.
So it seems like we've been through the worst of the winds so far, the gusts. But I'm wondering, the choppers and the aircraft that are flying and doing the water drops are making the big difference for us. Will they be able to continue to fly? Do you believe?
It's hard to say because it's their.
Can y'all still hear me?
I definitely think there's a much better chance at that.
Can y'all still hear me? Okay, he's coming. Because, hey, come here. Look, This is, California been burning, right? So say hello to everybody.
Hey, hello, everybody.
Hey, guys. Husband is here. Okay. Say hello to the husband. You see California is burning. A little guy, the guy is louder. A little. Okay, I muted him just for a moment from now. Oh, Justice said, hey, husband.
Hey, Justice.
So I was telling them we was talking about our son Jordan, and you and I was talking about how he wants to move. Did he tell you he wants the property land in California? Tell how many acres is that he wants?
Oh, I think about 10 acres. Yeah.
10 acres. Okay, I was right. 10 acres, and he wanted, but it's burning. Don't California burn all the time?
Oh, in the way you are, but
where's that? Where's that he want to live? He want.
I think it's Northern California, Redding, California.
Redding. Anybody heard of Redding, California?
Almost near the Oregon border or something, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Okay, but he want 10 acres there. How much was that?
Oh, I don't remember how much it was. Yeah, I don't know.
Was it a lot or little?
Yeah, I don't remember how much it was. I don't know.
But it ain't no $200, is it?
Oh no, definitely probably 100,000 or more, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, he said 100,000. It's way more than 100,000 for 10 acres.
Depends on where you are. So
okay, right. But anyway, he's been telling me he wants it, right? Did he tell you?
Oh no, I know they want to move out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wants us to buy. He's trying to convince me not to buy another house because what he want us to put. He want me to put the money down on that. He ain't telling you to put it down. He want me to put the money down. I want me to buy it.
He got to buy it. He's going to buy his own house.
You hear that, Justice? Husband say he got to buy it himself. Cost of living in California. See that? Cost of living in. See that, Justice? These are young folks. They don't know any better. When we was young and crazy. Well, I know I was young and crazy. Were you young and crazy? No, you wasn't young and crazy, husband.
Just young, yeah.
My husband was just young, but I was young and crazy, right? But so we was. I mentioned to him my husband last night, and last night did I tell you he got my debit card, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he got my debit card. He had it for about a month now, and he son wanted us money to go do something else. But how much did you say he had spent in the last month?
Several thousands of dollars, yeah.
Didn't you tell me about $10,000?
Oh, yeah.
He told me my son had spent over $10,000 in 1 month, and on a credit card that don't belong to him. So, but you that's what I say. Kids are young and crazy. You cooking? What are you cooking?
Yeah. It's from Costco. It's something new. It's like a spaghetti lasagna. Spaghetti
lasagna or something?
Spaghetti. I can't remember what to call it. It's like a spaghetti soup is what it is.
Spaghetti soup. He's cooking something for dinner.
It's something new. So
it's something new. It's something new that he's cooking. So he always tries new dishes and cook new stuff. Wait, she said, "Amen, husband. Time to support your habits in home." Well, the thing about it, he got a business that I'm the silent partner of. From how many years now he's been running this business?
12, 15 years.
12 or 15 years.
12 years.
12 years. A silent business. I'm the silent partner. I was the person who came in and put the money, started it for him, got it up and running, started it for him. So he still got that same business running it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, husband. Tell everybody bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, he's gone because he's cooking. You can go ahead and blow that on out for me, that candle. All right. Thank you. Okay, guys. That's husband. He's cooking something. Yeah. He's cooking something. Huh? Say what? Okay. All right. Okay. But do you see a profit from business, Pinky? I never get anything. He keeps all the money. I have never gotten a penny. And matter of fact, I brought it up just in December, just last month. We was all together at home at the other house, and all of them was sitting. We were all sitting around, and I brought that up. I said, "Remember that I am your silent partner, right?" And he said, "Yeah." And I told, because he got a new wife. They newly married, right? And she's the white woman that he married, right? And I said, my handsome, my love, that's what I call him, my handsome or my love. I call him my love. I said that his business, I am his silent partner. I am the main one over this company that he got. But I have never seen a penny. Never seen a penny. Learn from you, a helper being used. Yeah. But he still got my debit card. And I mentioned it to him today that I'm going to have to get it. I need to get my debit card. But I can't get it until I go back down there. Go back home. And so last night, and that's how it came about, because he wanted some more money. He wanted to go shopping, and they were spending a lot of money, him and his wife and stuff. And he asked me, and I said, "Tell him, you remember, you got my card." So that's how my husband came into it. And I told my husband, he said, "Well, tell him to go ahead and use it." But he said, but he's going to have to stop it because he had spent over $10,000 in 1 month. Cancel it and bank sends a new one to you. I can't because that's the main, that's one every, I can't do that. It's only because my husband's name is on it. That's the one that my husband gave me to use. And they using it all up. They use it all up. If one ain't got it, the other one got it. And sometimes I go places and they never have. I just say, "I ain't got no money on me." I mean, to place ain't got a penny on me. Because find out they got where's my debit card? I have to call somebody and make some phone calls to get somebody where I am so they can pay or find other ways for them to take care of it. But anyway, TKO is in the house. Hi, Pinky and chat mods. Thank you, TKO, for being in the house. I wish I could. I can't do that. I never canceled nothing like that before. Damn. What'd you say? Will you adopt me, Pinky? I wish. But you know what? I never canceled nothing like that. I can't do that. But I get it when I go back down. I'm not going this week because I promised my husband I'm going to stay here for another week. He wanted to leave. We supposed to be leaving Friday, but because of the storm, bad weather, and the snow and stuff, we're staying. And so he called yesterday. We called, but he called and made a call that the people know that we're not coming down. We're not going to come. So that means people running amok down there at home. They're running amok. But that's it. That's it. But we'll see justice. But he even asked for this house, the one I'm in right now. We only been here for a month. He wants this one. He wants this one. He just got a new one, so he wants this one too. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. We'll see. They just know mommy don't have a job, and mommy just easy. Mommy is easy. That's all. But I love, Oh, my grandbaby. We're not going to talk about my grandbaby. I'll be out here all day. My son, I told him to do another video, put the baby back on the vacuum cleaner. I let the baby run, and he put the baby on the vacuum cleaner, but he had on some sport pants, I think it's Nike, and they were slippy. So when he got on the vacuum cleaner, he kept sliding off it. So, but normally he'll sit on the vacuum cleaner if the pants is not that's slippery material or something. He'll just sit there and ride on the vacuum cleaner, dancing, moving and dancing on the vacuum cleaner. The kind that runs around on the floor by itself, and because it does the floor. I would say that vacuum cleaner come out. I would say about 3 times a day. I don't know, but I would swear that thing come out 3 times a day, running all over the floor. It gets on my nerves. Oh, I hate that thing. Oh, it gets on my nerves. But they got it plugged up. There's one behind me. What is that? There was one behind me the other day. They run out. They get on my nerves. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and go. Justice TKO, make sure you watch the beginning of my video. I love you all. And Queen Common Sense, my content creator. And Susie, thank you. I had, what is it? Nate N. Hepper and Summer Bunny, Sizzling Bunny or Summer Bunny in here too. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here. And because it's only 2 hours and 26 minutes, so we're going to get on out of here. But I am going to put some other stuff together tonight and drop it. But I'm going to go in here and eat because I think her husband's saying the food is almost ready or something. I don't know. But I'm ready to eat. And it's 10:28 here. It's late to be eating, but that ain't going to stop me. I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And enjoyed this, Pinky. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Justice. Thank you, TKO. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a good night, okay? Love you.